Hello, it's Jimmy Jam Oracle. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing another Girl World reading for Amberlynn Reid. Remember to welcome the spirits and thank them for their help. And we ask the spirits, as I'm shuffling the deck, spirits, what's going on with Amber? Now we believe she's lost monetization for her channel. At least that's the rumor that's going around. Not sure if that's a fact yet. What else? She's also not up to much. Lots of her videos have been deleted. But spirits, what's going on with her currently? I was thinking about doing a Celtic cross, but I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. So I'm going to do a series of 3-card reads and see where the rabbit hole takes us. So take us away, spirits. Take us away. We have the 9 of Wands. Sorry, 6 of Pentacles. And we have the King of Pentacles. He is reversed. Okay, let's start with the 9 of Wands. It says courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stance, gearing up for the worst, pessimism, and wary. Excuse me. Okay, test of faith, resilience. Okay, so this could be Amber gearing up for the worst, pretty much. That's the wording on the card. But like taking the last stand, my guess is that she is probably making phone calls right now or emailing, trying to get her monetization back. I'm not very good with that word. Trying to get her money back. Trying to get her channel up and running again. And yeah, that's the feeling, especially the persistence. Like she's going to be really like trying to get that back, which I understand, that's her income. But the card kind of, like it says, it's gearing up for the worst. So like she's trying, but she's not 100% confident that she's going to get that back anytime soon. So now we move on to the 6 of Pentacles. It's called giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. Now I wonder if she continues to make YouTube videos, whether she's getting paid or not, but start asking for donations. Or, because here she just opened up her Cameo. And isn't it like over $100 for a Cameo? That's ridiculous. I could not imagine. I couldn't imagine spending $100 on that. But maybe that's what it's talking about. Maybe it's not, when it's talking about generosity, I don't think it's talking about her generosity. I think it's talking about the generosity of others. And now we move on to the King of Pentacles. Greed, indulgence, material loss, stubborn, obsessed with wealth and status, and financially inept. 100% girl world coded. These girls are definitely financially inept. And I've said it before, like, if they just took the time to had put away most of what they made, like, during their peak era, Amber would be able to write out this, this crap going on with her channel. But I honestly don't think she has, because I've gotten financial issues for her before. And even, I do think the spirits predicted that she would have this financial loss. If for some reason material loss is also sticking out to me, I wonder if she's going to try selling things. I don't know, at the pawn shop, maybe online. I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting that vibe. Let's ask the spirits, what happens to Amberlynn's channel? Like, what clue can you give us with that? What do we have? We have the Chariot. We have the Emperor. And we have, oh, I'm so sorry. We have the 6 of Wands. All right, we're starting off strong with the Chariot. It is reversed. Talking about self-discipline, opposition, lack of direction, lack of control, aggression, and arrogance, and carelessness. Those are definitely words that could describe Amber's channel. the aggression, the loss of control, definitely. Amber is quick to snap, to rage, or to ignore. She's also very. I think that's how she keeps herself from snapping, is that she will purposely like ignore things. But the thing is, she'll ignore, and then she'll snap. The arrogance as well. She's very arrogant. She always has been. The lack of direction, always. And her channel has always been like that. The lack of direction. It started off as a weight loss channel, and then it was just blogs. I'm sorry, vlogs, not blogs. And then like she did like cooking stuff, and she's never really had a straight avenue of what her channel was. So we move on to the Emperor. He's also reversed. This is domineering, controlling, lack of discipline, rigid, stubborn, tyrant, and recklessness. Okay, and it's funny because in the Chariot we start with self-discipline, and then here in the Emperor it's talking about lack of discipline. So I do believe the cards are trying to say, like, as much as she tries to practice self-discipline, she really lacks it. And it really goes along with what I just said about how she'll like ignore things and then she'll suddenly snap. She'll try to act on her self-discipline, and then again like turn around and turns out she lacks the discipline to carry on. Domineering, I think, also goes along with arrogance. Controlling is something I often get with girl when it's talking about control or controlling of others. I do believe Amber is very much like that. I think she likes being in control. And that goes along with that tyrant. Like, she's controlling and she's a bitch about it. You know what I mean? That talks about recklessness, but I'm not really getting too much of a vibe from that. But let's move on to, is it the Six of Wands? The only upright card in this read. Says public recognition, victory, progress, self-confidence. Okay, it's talking about victory in progress. And this question did relate to her channel. So I wonder if she does get something out of it. I don't know if it's financial, probably. How about victory? Because remember, I said she's making phone calls, she's sending emails, she's being persistent. She wants her channel back up and making money. Let's set these bad boys aside real quick. Let's focus our energy on the Six of Wands. Spirits, can you tell us what this victory is related to? What is Amber's victory? I do have a jumper. Let's go ahead and read that real quick. Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, and leaving behind. All right, let's keep an eye on that guy, because I'm not 100% sure what that relates to. But the spirits felt like it needed to be said. And I do believe when things are rough... I have another jumper. Okay, spirits. Spirits have a lot to say. The Queen of Wands says courage, confidence, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. Oh, who is this Queen of Wands? Because it's not Amber. We'll keep an eye out. There might be some wordish that pops up. Or it could be bad at shuffling. And also, too, like when they fall out, I tend to read them right side up. I'm not sure when to read. Oh, okay. I have another jumper. I'm sorry. We have the Four of Swords. It's reversed. It says exhaustion, burnout, deep contemplation, stagnation, restlessness, and stress. Definitely, I think that's what she's going through right now. The stress, stagnation, burnout. I think that's why she keeps taking time off the internet. I think she really is burnt out with the whole thing. Oh, no. Hang on. Alright, so we'll keep shuffling. Alright, spirits, what's her victory? We have Judgment. The Moon. We got a lot of strong cards here today. And the Ten of Pentacles. I was talking about Judgment. So it's talking about Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase. Absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. Now, I know this is a card that's come up for her before, and this is usually like a wish card or something along those lines. where she's looking for redemption. She's looking for forgiveness and mercy. And I just wonder if this is related to charity. It is talking about starting a new phase and a rebirth. So maybe things will start changing for her, or that can, like I said, that could be like a wish that she has as well, just to start over. Well, actually, starting over would imply that her channel is demonetized because she would have to reapply months later, I believe. Then we have the moon. It says the release of fear, repressing emotions, inner confusion, misinterpretation, darkness, and insecurities. The repressing emotions, again, it's referring to when I was talking about Amber's self-discipline and her lack of thereof. I do believe that repressing emotions, when she, like I said, she can ignore, and then all of a sudden she blows. So we're talking about the Emperor and the Chariot right there. So again, it's just spirits confirming, like, yeah, she's going to try to hide how she really feels about the situation, but I don't think she'll be able to for very long, because it's also talking about darkness and the release of fear. And the release of fear can be interpreted in two ways. Like, it can be like the release of fear in a way of being not afraid anymore, or the release of fear, as I'm interpreting it right now, as talking about it, talking about your fears. All right, the Ten of Pentacles. It is reversed. It says dark side of wealth, financial failure or loss, fleeting success, lack of stability, lack of resources. Okay, so it seems like, I'm not sure what it's trying to say the victory in this card is, the progress. But it's also talking about public recognition and self-confidence. Maybe it was just trying to say that she's wanting to appear self-confident, to the public, or she cares about her public image. Because this card is saying the complete opposite. It even talks about the dark side of wealth. And then here in the moon, we're talking about darkness. The dark side of wealth, I'm going to leave that open to interpretation. Some people have been mentioning OnlyFans. Maybe that's a direction she goes in. Maybe that's the rebirth. Maybe that's the new phase this card, Judgment card, is talking about. I'm seeing if the dropouts have anything to do with what we have. It doesn't talk about walking away and leaving behind. In this one of the flyaways I had. The abandonment. Like, could she ended up walking away from YouTube completely to chase this rebirth, this new phase? Could be. But the Pentacles say it's fleeting success. Like, she might find stability for a little while, but it's all for nothing. Which could be what this card is. The Queen of Wands. Maybe that's what it's talking about. When it's talking about a zest for life. The confidence, the courage. Like, because we were talking about insecurities before here. And then even the release of fear. So maybe the release of fear is actually finding her courage. And being confident enough to do an OnlyFans. Or to find a different platform to try to monetize on. It doesn't have to be OnlyFans. It could literally be anything. There's hundreds of sites out there I'm sure she can choose from to start over. But it just seems like when it's talking about the dark side of wealth, that's kind of like where my mind is going to. But I do believe this card was talking about her current state. The stress, the restlessness, the stagnation. That's her right now. That's what she's going through right now. And we're going to ask the spirits, anything you would like to say using this deck for Amber. Then we'll move on to the next deck. Hanged Man, he's reversed. Page of Cups. And the Nine of Swords. So the Hanged Man reverse is delays, standstill, resistance, stalling, indecision, fear of sacrifice, lack of control. Again, we're talking about stagnation in the standstill and the stalling, even the indecision. And we're talking about fear again. In this case, it's the fear of sacrifice. So by switching onto a new platform, Amber would be pretty much sacrificing the audience that she has now. I think that's what that's about. And also the lack of control as well. I do believe she feels like she can control her audience to a certain degree, and to let that go would be a huge sacrifice for her, at least emotionally. When we move on to the Page of Cups, is creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, new love. Again, like the Page of Cups is talking about, I do believe it's talking about like starting over or like starting something new. And that's in the creative opportunities. So again, like I'm getting the feeling that she's going to be switching platforms, or at the very least, she's going to be very, very interested in posting somewhere else. So then we move on to the Nine of Swords, talking about anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, and despair. Now, whether the changing to the new platform ends in this, I kind of get that feeling, because it does seem like the spirits are saying, yes, she's going to have a little bit of success, but ultimately it's going to fail. But this also could be her current state, the worry, the fear, the insomnia, nightmares, hopelessness, despair, and that could be the driving force to go in this direction towards a new platform. That's what I really, really believe the spirits are saying. But let's ask the other deck. Other deck is, what's the tea? So we're going to ask the spirits. Spirits, what's the tea on Amber? Amberlynn Reid. What's the tea on her? Going to do a quick shuffle. I'm sure this is the most exciting part of the video, where there's nothing going on screen. It's just me shuffling. Sometimes I feel bad about it, so I'll just keep talking. All right. See what the spirits have to say. Marrying for money. What? I've never gotten that one before. A dirty offer. I've gotten that before. Usually I see this as Chantal's card, but it's showing up for Amber. So stepping into power, praised, coming up, spotlight. And see, in that one too also could be referring to the new platform, because like I said, the cards say she'll have like this momentary success, a fleeting success, and then that's when things kind of start going downhill. That could be what the Queen Rising is referring to. But the dirty offer and the marrying for money, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who she would marry for money. I don't... Whether she's going to be like a sugar baby? A trophy wife? Is that the fleeting success? Like she gets married and then, you know, things don't quite work out? A dirty offer, marrying for money. Or maybe the marrying for money could be the commitment to another platform. Oh. Well, I have a jumper. Jumpers seem to be very common right now. Boss daddy. Rich, stable business owner, CEO, big dick energy. Maybe she does marry for money. Oh. Another jumper. Creeping. Who's creeping? Somebody's creeping in those DMs, Amber? Or you're creeping into theirs? Oh, wow, that completely changes the game now, doesn't it? Spirits are saying something else entirely. That one card, the Page of Cups right here, did talk about a new love, and I ignored it because I wasn't getting romantic energy. But I guess you wouldn't get romantic energy if it's a marriage for money. If there's a dirty offer involved, there is no romance. So why speculate when we can just draw some cards? So spirits, what can you tell us? Tell us about this spread. Somebody wants you back. Divination abuser, the second time I've gotten that today, and dust it off. These two are related. The dust it off and the wants you back. It's someone she's been with before. Who has she been with that's financially stable enough to marry for money for? Even the divination abuser kind of sticks out a little bit. Every time I see this, I always think it's talking to me. Because I got the same thing in my last read too. But Amber also draws cards. Huh. This one gets me too, the marrying for money. Big dick energy. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be a woman. Women can give off big dick energy too. Alright, let's shuffle one more time. See if the spirits can explain what's going on. Because there's only so much they can say with the cards. Let's be for real. If they could tell us exactly what was going on, I'm sure they would. Alright. A happiness hater. Crying over you. Clout hungry. Says anything, does anything, makes shit up dramatic. That's definitely Amber. Strange. Okay, so when I see happiness hater, I don't really see happiness. What I see is jealousy. I see his jealousy. Crying over you. So definitely somebody she really didn't want to let go. So I think it's somebody she would love to have back, I think. Oh, it's not Emily, is it? I didn't think Emily was financially stable. I thought she lost her job. No, I don't know. But it's also talking about clout hungry. That could be Emily. That could be a couple of Amber sexes, to be honest with you. But definitely, maybe that's part of the dirty offer. Is getting in on that clout. Because if Amber does something like scandalous enough, like marry an ex, like, definitely, that could be the fleeting success. Like, people would definitely watch for a little while just to watch the drama unfold with that. And then, you know, move on when it got boring, and inevitably it would. Or they would get divorced, and that would be that. Maybe that's the failure that was being spoken about. All right, this candle is about to go out. And with that being said, we thank the spirits for helping us out today. Don't forget about them. Just like I thank you for joining me today. If you got to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Just leave me a like. And remember, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying not to burn myself on this candle. Did I say thank the spirits? Just like I thank you for... Yeah, I did all that. Okay, well, have a great day.